So for the first 230 odd, 40 years, we increased our deficit to 8 trillion. And in the last 23 years, we increased it by $26 trillion. I think that speaks volumes of what's happening in our country today. The problem with these type of deficits, and now and I believe higher interest rates for longer, the cost of financing our deficits are going to erode more and more of our disposable income as a country. And I do believe we're getting to a point where our public debt is going to start crowding out private capital, and we're going to have structurally higher interest rates.
So after I watched that video from Larry Fink, I kind of realized that he's throwing around such big numbers that most people can't comprehend the problem, and they don't really understand how it impacts them. And I also realized that, giving somebody a solution to a problem that they don't understand is kind of pointless. And so today I just wanted to oversimplify this for you guys and try to make it as easy to understand as possible. And so Larry mentioned in that video the deficit, and for fun I wanted to see what those numbers look like in terms of money supply in the same time period. Money supply is just essentially all of the money that's floating around in circulation. And again, I'm oversimplifying all of this stuff for you. So in 2000, the money supply was roughly around 5 trillion. And then if you fast forward to 2020, the money supply was around $18 trillion. So think of it this way. If you had a single dollar in the year 2000, you had 1 unit over 5 trillion. If you had a single dollar in the year 2020, you had 1 unit over $18 trillion, right? So it doesn't take, the most intelligent person to understand that your money is being diluted. And so again, if you think about this from another standpoint, if you're looking at this like the dollar is a stock or some type of asset, and the backing of the stock is the US government, as they keep expanding the supply in the stock, you keep getting devalued. Now, the only thing that can help you with the value is if the asset improves, right? So let's use like a company like Microsoft. If Microsoft keeps selling more software and they expand your units, it's still possible to have more money because the value of the underlying asset's improving. But with the US government, Larry Fink was saying, hey, our deficit went from 8 trillion to 34 trillion. That essentially means that we're borrowing more money than we make. And again, like if you run your own household budget, you know this is a big problem. And so anyways, today, I didn't want to spend time talking to you about the solution. I really just wanted you to get focused on what the problem is and wrapping your brain around this. And as you wrap your brain around this, I'd love to hear from you guys. What are some ways that you've solved this by converting the dollar into something else? Anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys.